chicken liver and cow stomach. Most of the food's good though. Most of the food's fine. There's not that many weird things. Those were like the only two things that I didn't like my whole mission. So generally, I think just kind of becoming a lot closer to God was really important for me. And I think learning a lot about myself and who I am as a child of God was really important. And it seemed like the more I tried to focus just on other people and not myself, the more I ended up having to think about myself. Because I think that everybody else is super, super important in our mission, and we are there to serve them. But the most important change that's going to happen is like within ourselves. And the most important reason that I think that we serve missions is kind of to prepare us for the rest of our lives and to prepare other people just to be strong in the church for the rest of our lives. So I think that the things that I learned personally about myself and about what I'm capable of and about maybe what I'm not capable of was really important. Just learning to find the balance and learning to feel God's love even when we feel like we're not doing everything right. That was a highlight for me. Every time I could get a glimpse of, you know what, I'm failing at being a missionary. Like, I'm not doing anything right. You know, those moments where you feel that way, but then being able to feel, but God loves me anyway and he still trusts me. It's amazing. That's an amazing feeling. And that's something that I felt kind of for the first time as a missionary. And I still struggle with that a lot of like, am I doing everything right? Is everything okay? And it's just really important to step back and remember, like, no, God still loves me and he still trusts me. I don't have to be perfect to do his work. So that was probably the most important thing that I think I learned in many different experiences that I can't even begin to tell. I think I gained a lot of charity. I would like to say that I became more responsible, or I became more punctual, or I became better at planning. I kind of didn't. Like I still struggle with that. Like that was hard for me the whole time, was like, you know, being structured and planning. I did well on my mission, but it's not something that really stuck with me. A little bit, yeah. I mean, I matured a lot in that way, but mostly it was just being able to love people for who they are, and not caring so much about like what people think or what's important to society. Like just not caring what people think of me and not caring like what people do, still being able to love them and just seeing people as children of God, and just, it's like, it doesn't matter what they do, I can still love them. I think that was a way that I really grew. And being able to like reach out to people, you know, not being so afraid of, oh, well, what will people think if I give that person a ride home, or if I help this person with homework, what are they going to think about it? You know, like just being able to serve and love people without caring so much what people think. That's something I really gained. Kind of what I was saying before about just knowing that God loves you and that, you know, you don't have to be perfect before you can do anything. That was the most important thing. And I still am learning that now. That's something that's really carried over. Just, I really struggled with that feeling like before I was going to be a good missionary, or before anything would go right, I had to be doing everything right perfectly. You don't. You can't. You cannot do everything perfectly. We're humans. It's so impossible. And thinking that I can do everything on my own perfectly is not trusting in God's plan. We need to make mistakes, and sometimes he makes our weaknesses into our strengths in ways that we don't even realize. So that was my big life lesson. Just like, don't be too hard on myself. Just, you know, do what you can. Be happy with it. Don't compare yourself to everybody else. Just know that God trusts you, is guiding you. He has a specific goal for you. You have your own personality. Like, just don't worry about being some perfect missionary or a perfect person, because you can't. Just be yourself. Do your best. That was my big life lesson that I still have to think about every day and remind myself of every day. So